Hello, everybody. The birds are singing. The sun is shining. Great. That was so funny the time before.
I thought I would make an impromptu scene there, but
Yeah,
I wasn't able to fully commit to it, and you took the piss out of me. So, great friend.
the best. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back to the ACB sessions, or as we like to call them, the accountability sessions. For those who didn't know, this is episode 4 now. Oh my god, we are so far into the year already, which is crazy.
A third into the
This is
hell?
nuts. And we've got some, well, I've got some awesome things to talk about today, compared to last episode. Jake, you've got some cool things to talk about today. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's fucking have a great time. Sorry for swearing, but I am excited because something awesome has happened. Should I start?
I think you're gonna. I think you need to because you look like
I've got a job.
Oh my god! A thing happened.
I did a thing.
He did a thing. He got an egg.
All those an egg. Egg. Yeah, true.
Egg.
All those CVs sent off, all those applications, all those emails, phone calls, blah 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 blah. It's all paid off. I applied to be a music teacher at an awesome school, and basically did the whole same process as with the last music school that I applied to November last year, where I did the phone call, and then the next stage was an in-person interview with other people there as well, interviewing for the same job. And yeah, this time I got lucky, and maybe also it was a mixture of luck, but also a learning experience from the past interview that I then used in this interview, and I feel like that gave me a nice advantage. But yeah, I'm over the moon, and things have just been rolling, and we'll be talking about all the other things that have happened because of that too. But yeah, I'm extremely excited about this, and I think it's just it's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of hard work and a lot of emotional turmoil, but I think we got there in the end, and now is the start of the next valley of the next mountain.
Yes, mate. I am so pleased for you, proud of you, as you already know. And we was literally saying this like in the last episode, like when you get like a failure closer to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we don't want to phrase it as like a failure or as a negative thing as such, but I think it is part of like building a thick skin into, you need that muscle to call upon when the next opportunity comes or the next whatever comes along, so you've like got the substance to deal with it.
Absolutely.
And you absolutely have, and you've not only like reached that goal, but you've smashed it by staying consistent, and I'm just well happy.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's been, like I said, it's been tough, but I think it's a factor of many things. The job market at the moment is quite brutal. I've heard from other people as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's brutal in general, but just at the moment as well, especially. And yeah, like I said, it's a mixture of luck, but also experience from previous interviews that I've just used to my advantage. And I always knew that I was capable of doing the job, which I'm going to be starting end of May, so very soon. But yeah, I mean, there's so many emotions attached, but I'm really over the moon. But let's.
It's brilliant. No, I think we need to carry on the Alex hype train here, because it's not just that's been going on. Because you've actually made some other leaps and bounds in. You said about, obviously you want to have your own place, which you will do, but there's some things that have got to happen before that happens, just so like everything goes smoothly, and that you've got this job in place now, and so that you will be earning enough to earn a place that is nice, and you're not just, like you said in the last session, to get a place just for the sake of saying, I've achieved that goal.
Yeah, exactly.
You want it to be a nice place, and you want it to be proper, and it to be like really yours and feel like home. But please do tell everyone about the driving situation.
Yes. So, as almost like a domino effect of getting this job, I've also now purchased a car. Used every last bit of my savings to get the car and the insurance and everything. But I mean, it was necessary. I need the car for the job to drive around to different schools, and just having a car in general has will be a benefit and an improvement of quality of life. Just going around and being able to do things at a further distance. But yeah, the main thing really just traveling to the different job sites, different schools. And that was a bit of a process as well. I was spending quite a bit of time looking at different models of cars and, okay, should I spend a lot more money, like over £10,000, and get quite a nice car, essentially first car. I did have a car back when I used to live in Germany, but it wasn't really my own car. It was just a car I could use. But this is now, I guess, my first car that I've ever purchased, and it's mine alone. And yeah, so that's another exciting thing to then go hand in hand with the job. And yeah, that was an experience in itself too, just traveling out to the areas near me to meet dealerships and look at cars, some in decent states, some in less than desirable states. but it was a good experience as well, because I've never purchased a car before, so that for me was an important lesson as well on how some of these dealerships function, and some of them maybe don't have your best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Others tend to be a little bit more honest. But yeah, I've got a car. It's a lovely blue Ford Fiesta. I couldn't be happier with it. I've driven it out a couple of times already. I did my license in Germany, which means I'm used to sitting on the left side.
The wrong side.
Yeah. Well, you could say that about here as well.
Yeah.
And because I drive manual, I would be shifting gears with my right hand, but then now I was basically had to unlearn that and just shift gears with my left hand. So that took a couple of hours, but honestly, I feel like I'm fairly comfortable with that now. I did a drive the other day all the way up to the Goit Valley in Buxton, and that was about a 3-hour journey, like everything in total. So yeah.
Wait, was that your first time driving, like on the opposite side?
No.
Okay.
So the first time driving was when I finalized the payment at the dealership. I drove it back from the dealership all the way back here.
Yeah, but I mean, this has been in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But that's your first time driving.
First time driving in like 7-8 years.
You're kind of a madman, but I love that.
Yeah, I did consider getting refresher courses with AA or something, but then I was like, you know what? I know I'm a good driver.
Yeah, you're a safe driver.
I'm a safe driver. I don't speed or anything. I've never had a speeding ticket or anything like that. Maybe I'm annoying to drive behind because I don't go faster than the speeding
because you're going by the book
limit.
But I mean, that's the whole point.
And I don't mind being patient. Like if there's someone on a bike in front of me and I can't see on the opposite side, I'm not just going to overtake. I'm going to wait. Or if there's a tractor or something, blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah, so that was fun. Very very nerve-wracking. The first drive from the dealership back to my home here.
On the wrong side for you as well.
Yeah, and going through city centre as well with loads of roundabouts and stuff like that. I was just like going in the wrong lanes, and okay, it was fine. My dad was with me. But yeah, the drive to Buxton, I did that on my own, basically, and my dad was driving in his car in front of me, and I was driving in my car, sort of not like following him around. Yeah,
that's so good, so impressive. Good for you, man.
It was
and
good
after
fun.
like 8 years as well, basically.
Yeah, well, I didn't have any need to drive in London.
I mean,
and
exactly.
nor,
That's why.
nor the money.
Well, that's why I never drove either. Actually, I actually had a driving lesson today, as it goes, and I didn't kill a single person. Get in.
Nice. How are those going for you then? The lessons?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
I kind of hate it.
You know what? I don't love driving. I think that there's nice parts to it, but only in the countryside, like really nice countryside lanes where you're not too worried about other people. But driving in the city is horrendous.
I think
I really don't like it.
I think what I don't like is the responsibility, and like if you're driving with other people, and it's like if I mess up, it's not just my life in my hands; it's all these other people as well. And I'm always like wanting to do things right and safely and whatever. And I don't know. It's probably the lack of experience doing it. If I was just like doing it more frequently, then I'd probably be like a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, you get used to it for sure.
But yeah, I'm doing better and better all the time. To be fair, it's just find a damn test. They're like so few and far between, and people like snatch them up and sell them on at a premium, which is just
that's
apparently
wild.
And the DVSA do nothing about it, and apparently it's not illegal. So
wow,
but it's not even that they won't do anything about it. It's just they won't like accept responsibility that they're the ones that they could say, oh, the buck stops here, but it doesn't. So anyway, I think I will probably like it more when I'm more comfortable with it. And I think naturally you like things that you are good at doing.
Yeah.
So,
and I also think for you, when you get maybe more jobs or things like that, where it's more of a requirement for you to drive out to them, then the prospect of driving will become more enjoyable because, you know, it means you can get from A to B in terms of the job. And it's a lot more comfortable to drive with your gear in your own car than have to drag it your equipment on like trains and stuff.
And you don't have to miss the last train or the bus home or whatever. Yeah. And you know,
that's the freedom that you get with the car.
For sure, and public transport obviously doesn't go to these remote places or like out in the sticks or anything like that.
And you can go on road trips with your mates.
Yeah, you can. Yep, it's going to happen, dude. I'm so excited for that. I don't know where exactly we're going to go first, but I think we should do something like Scotland because it is beautiful.
I would love that.
It is
that's what I was talking about with the country lanes or like driving in parts of Scotland where there's absolutely nobody else there. It's just you and your mates, and you're just driving through these beautiful areas, mountains and lakes or whatever. And I'm really looking forward to that when we eventually do it.
For sure. I've not been to Wales either, like ever in my whole life.
You need to, man. There's some absolutely stunning areas there.
I'd love to, and also Ireland as well. I mean, not in any of the main cities, but like you said, like on the country roads and that sort of stuff. And I think that would be awesome.
I'm less familiar with Ireland. I did go as a kid to, I think it was maybe Dublin or something, but yeah.
I mean, I literally only went to Dublin last year, and that was my first time in Ireland at all. So, and I loved it, but it's probably not the place for a road trip. I
don't know too much
either.
about
We
it.
can stick it on the list. Put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
Treat yourself. Go on. So,
good.
And you got your car stuff through today. You actually sent me a message before we did this. So you got all the official paperwork and stuff.
Yes, the what's it called, VC5 or something like that, like the official
vehicle certification.
Yeah, something like that. With your details and
the official
blah, blah, blah,
whatever,
all that stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I had already, obviously, the car was already mine the day I got it from dealership, but this kind of seals the deal, if you will, and it's all official and documented. So
it's on paper. Gotta get it laminated.
Yeah.
You don't know that quote, do you?
I do not. No.
Well, we'll find it. We'll put a little link. You can find it laminated. Right.
Tell me about you then. So we've obviously had all this excitement about me. How are things going with your business?
So my business, in the last session, I said basically I'm bleeding money. And you'll be pleased to know that I am in exactly the same spot.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
But worse, in fact.
Yeah. That's what bleeding tends to do.
Yeah. I was actually going to make a separate video because I'm really hoping things will come together in the next couple of months. But literally, that is all the savings I have enough to keep living with is like 2 months worth, and then we're out. So yeah, I was going to make a separate video for myself to go, yeah, this is not looking the best or the brightest, guys. So there's been like a lot of things that have been meant to have happened that have fallen through because not everyone's kept their word, unfortunately. But you know, that's life, and that's why I don't put all my eggs in one basket, because of exactly that reason. So yeah, that's why it's always important to have contracts and whatever, as you bloody well know.
Yeah.
Unnamed band just got a sick invoice delivered to them.
Yeah.
Cut that
bit. No, I'm happy to talk about that. I'm happy to talk about a band that I was in. I don't need to name them, but it showed me the importance of writing up contracts, because if I hadn't had that contract written when I exited the band, I wouldn't be getting probably nearly as much money, if any at all, from the royalties, as I have been getting every year now. And you know, lucky for me, this year the royalties have been significantly more than in the past couple of years, and that is a testament, you know, to not only the my contract writing skills, which, to be fair, I did get a lot of help with. So it's nice to know people who know about that sort of stuff. But also a testament to the band, the guys in the band, to be able to pull off what they have been doing. You know, even though we did have differences, it's still a testament to their abilities, like I said, in making music and working the social medias and doing all that stuff. So kudos to them.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah,
well played. Anyway, what was I saying before? My company. Yes, I've been making some good progress, even though there's not like monetary like things coming back to me just yet. I'm making a lot of positive steps in what I think is the right direction. I know it's the right direction. I don't just think it. I know I'm putting a good foot forward. It's coming from a good place. It's going to a good place. I'm offering good services that are, you know, reliable, relatable. But I think a lot of it is there's a lot of competition. I've got to have my marketing on point. Like I said in the episode before, I've got 2 trademarks now, so I'm covered on those. Thank you. But yeah, now it's just continuing with that. But because I don't have like tons of cash flow, like funding my own adverts becomes a little challenging when there's no income. Yeah. So, but I've been trying to have other income streams that I'm setting up at the same time. So, well, let me tell you a little about the business. What did happen? Something that's really good. I said to you guys that I was in the business directory for my town, and off of that, the lady who runs that directory actually asked if she could do an interview with me, which we did, and she wrote up about me and my business, and now it's in the directory, published online. So that's really cool. Fingers crossed something comes off the back of that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's all part of putting yourself out there.
For sure. I've done a couple of networking things. I've got a couple of more set up through that directory and like being linked up with other businesses. Some other people, because I have like this, my tiny house / studio, but I don't have like a dedicated studio space that's like big enough to fit other clients in if we're doing like documentary style things.
Yeah, sure.
So I've actually got an offer, and I'm going to see a lady on the 1st of May, and she said she's happy for me to use her space in a rented building if I want to do sessions there, like for documentaries and stuff. So if people don't want me to travel to them or to have me to their house, and I don't want them to, come here because I really don't have any space, but to have a public space basically to host my projects, then that would be
That's fantastic.
really cool.
Yeah, amazing.
So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's at the end of the month.
Okay.
That's nice. I actually did a big job the other day at School Farm Studios with a friend of mine and his company. And that was a big project, and I was doing videography, and they basically sold this recording session course to music producers and whatever. And so we did a 2-day event, and we were recording for a pretty big artist, and we had some shit hot musicians, some session musicians in there. That is the only acceptable way to describe them, because they really are like mustard, like properly hot. And it was just awesome to be there and capture all of that sort of stuff, meet the guys, and just basically nerd out with them. And between takes, we would talk about guitars and tech and basses and drums and whatever it was. And these guys have played on a lot of records that a lot of us know and love. And yeah, everyone was like real down to earth, and we just had a bloody good time, and we all pretty much lived together for 2 days.
That's awesome.
So yeah, very happy with that, and I'm hoping that leads on to something else. So yeah.
Have you been able to get their contact details? I'm assuming you exchanged details.
Well, the thing is, there was 2 other videographers who my friend's company had already brought along, and I was like the odd one out, I guess, because these other 2 guys they'd worked with for like 30 years or known each other like 30 years or something, whereas this is the first proper project I'd come in on to do. And so I mean, I was the only one with like a handheld gimbal, so my forearms were just like killing me after, because it's not like tons of weight, but 2 kilos over 8 hours does get kind of heavy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, and it's not always like the most ergonomic thing to carry, because you're like this and your wrists are at angles and you've got to adjust, and you're not just on a tripod and leave it to go like the other cameras were. I was like the only moving part the whole time.
But in a way, those moving shots can sometimes be a lot more, I guess, dramatic might be a word, or just
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and the other thing is, because the other guys had set up cameras and they just left them unmanned for the most part, whereas I was like able to adapt to the situation, and if focus needs changing, I change focus and all of that, because I know cameras are fine if you've got a manual lock or whatever, but if anything in the setup of the room changes, you need to adapt to it, obviously. And so that's what I'm used to doing as a filmmaker anyway, so that just naturally is what I did. But yeah, I think as a full team, everyone worked really well together, and I was very, very happy to be part of that project. And it was just awesome because we was talking about with all the different session musicians, who they've played with, where they've played, and so and so was in Abbey Road and watched whatever record be created or was playing on it or something like that. It's kind of cool.
Puts things into perspective, doesn't it? When you
it
meet
does.
people like that.
And there's a lot of people I know from being at music uni, and that you would also know, that they also know, because the industry does get kind of small, kind of quick. So we had a really good time, and I'm hoping that some more work comes from that company and everything, and to have a collaboration there, and that'll be a good income stream as well for me.
Well, best case scenario, something does come out of it, and you get work out of it, and then that's gives you a domino effect. Worst case scenario, you had an awesome time, you met some awesome people, and you did a really, really good job. But hopefully it's not the latter.
Yes.
Although the latter is still great.
Yeah. And another thing, we're talking about income streams. I've actually started a Twitch page, which Alex has been very helpful in guiding me and advising me. And
you did most of the work. You're doing most of the work.
But between you and another unnamed friend who is also a legend, the two of you have guided me and got me to a place where I feel confident to take things to like the next level, pretty much. And so, like, when you get to a certain point and you meet enough criteria through a Twitch page, you actually can start getting paid for things. So that's an income stream I'm hoping to make the most of, and it's something that I like doing, that I'm hopefully good at, and if I can make a little something too, then that's a bonus. But I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it to, have that sociability with everyone and entertain people, and hopefully just make people laugh really and connect.
Well, you've been making me laugh. I know. I've been.
But you've been laughing at me, not with me.
Yeah, well, it's still a laugh at the end of the day. you just gotta take what you get. Oh dear.
What was you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that at the end of the day, whether you make money or not from it, it's about building a community, and I think you've already started seeing a little bit of that. New people joining in when you play, when you stream, and you're also being proactive in being other communities on Twitch, and I think that's really the best way to connect with people and to provide entertainment value, which could lead to people then donating or subscribing or buying your merch or anything like that.
But for the most part, I just love people being involved and me being involved in their stream or whatever, and like they go along or I come along, and everyone's like, "Oh no way, it's so and so," and then like everyone, there's just such a nice community about it, and especially like for you and I, we don't really have like tons of friends in person close to us. Having something like this is really nice, and because like you make friends with people all over the world, there's usually someone streaming at any given time that you know fairly well. So I do love that. But yeah, just the community of it, and people seem so welcoming, and I couldn't have had a better start really with you and our other unnamed friend, Legend.
Legend.
I don't know if she'd appreciate being name dropped. But anyway,
I think in a way I find that Twitch and live streaming on Twitch and maybe other live streaming platforms is more of an effective social media platform than any of the other social media platforms.
Totally agree. It's live engagement.
Yeah. I think that platforms like Instagram, Facebook, they've kind of just become about echo chambers and putting your stuff out there.
Echo chamber.
Putting your stuff out there, and it's kind of just being received by people, but not necessarily reacted to in the same way as you are being reacted to live on Twitch. And I find it a lot easier to spread hate and awful things on those other social media platforms, making them more anti-social media platforms versus this, where it's Twitch, which is all about community building and meeting people you wouldn't normally meet. I mean, I don't know if I can honestly tell you I've met people, online friends, through those other social media platforms, whereas I've made a bunch of friends through being in Discord communities and
For sure.
going on
and not to
streams.
that degree, probably, at least.
No.
And if you have met someone on Facebook, you've usually met them in real life. You add them,
it's
and
like
then,
a friend of a friend, or
and
like
then
that.
you didn't speak to them in 5 years, and you're like, who the hell is this person? Do you know? But totally, yeah, the Discord and Twitch combo seems the way to go, and I really enjoy being part of it. You know, you just, because you've got servers on Discord, like a bunch of people go, morning everybody, morning da da da. Oh, I cooked this thing, da da da, and it's not just games or whatever niche area they're doing on their Twitch, or if they stream or not, but just being part of that. And it is so much more interactive. There's like a dialogue, there's a back and forth. It's not just Facebook, oh, here's a post, like it, end of story, or buy my shit, or don't, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
and it doesn't feel like there's an obligation to like people's posts and share people's posts. It's just this is someone's day and how it's going, and you can observe it from a distance, or you can
join in.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that you can join or not, and
yeah,
like
exactly.
if I'm streaming, I just, when you say, yeah, I'm going to be here from here until then, drop in if you want, come back to us when you want. There's the the feature of, I mean, it's not a feature, but people lurk, I guess, and so they stick around, or they leave the tab open, they crack on with work, and they've got you in the background or something, just stuff like that. And I think it's so nice. And also the quality of having a raid. For anyone who doesn't know, a raid is when you reach the end of your stream, you can basically send yourself and all your viewership to another streamer and essentially donate your viewership to them.
Yeah.
And you I think that's a really
idea.
It's such a nice idea.
Yeah.
It's great for the person who's receiving them, and the first time I got raided, I was just like so flattered that someone had thought of me to send their viewers to, and I was like, it stuck with me for like a week.
Yeah.
And actually, even thinking now, it just makes me like more happy that someone would think of me to do that for. So yeah, it's such a nice place to be. And if there's something, not everyone's cup of tea. So if there's something you don't like, just try the next channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
the beauty behind that.
Definitely, and just everyone checks on everyone checks in on each other, which is just a really nice community environment. And
it's wholesome. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, absolutely wholesome.
Yeah.
And
I actually talking about the streaming, that's something eventually that I'd like to get into again as well, because I actually streamed 4 years ago, 5 years, during lockdown essentially, and a little bit after lockdown, and I had a green screen and everything, and I'm basically ready to go. So as soon as I moved into my new place, that's the goal that I have, to get back into streaming again. Not to make money or anything like that. I don't think I'm gonna do anything like, I'm not gonna accept donations and stuff like that. I'm literally just wanna do it for the sake of having fun and being involved in the community as well.
But I mean, if people want to support you, then great, right?
Yeah. But I mean, now with a job, I don't need it. No. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to do this year as well. So just something to keep in mind for future episodes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love for you to do that, because you're a bit of a beast. Actually, at some games for sure. Fortnite. Rinse the competition.
You've improved a lot recently, actually, I find.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would say
thank
so.
you.
Yeah.
I think I'm better at being a team player.
You're a team player anyways.
Well, thank you, first of all. I think first of all, I'm more familiar with the controls, how everything works, communicating as a team. We've finally got you to say the numbers of degrees of where we're going.
It was just kind of a heat of the moment thing, like, oh, they're there, they're right there.
You're like behind, and I'm like, which? He was like south. I was like, okay, and then I'd got shot.
I've managed to calm down now and at least ping where they're at, if not, and then a best case scenario, say the number of where they're at.
So something else that's nice that's happened is that I actually got voted as one of the finalists of the England International Film Festival, and I went along up to Newcastle the other week, and here we have a little finalist award. I don't know if you guys can see that properly. I can send. I'll take a proper picture and we can put it up as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is for my film To You, My Love, and
Awesome
they told me if you are in the finals, then your film has made it to one of the top 10 in the country, and that is amazing to be told. So it's very
Insane.
Sophisticated. Yes.
Mate, pat on the back for you. Yeah, there you go.
So I was very happy with that, and it just made me want to do more filmmaking, because I haven't made another film since then, and I made that like a year and a half ago. So, but you know how it goes. It's like, right, I'll do that thing, but actually I need money to do this thing, but then I've got to do that, and then you're like, right, and all these things stack up, and it gets pushed back and back and back.
Exactly. Like with me, everything depended on me getting a job. Everything else was put on hold. But now things are, the possibilities have opened up again. I can start thinking about doing stuff and buying things and blah blah blah, here and there.
Yeah, feeding yourself and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, I was very, very happy with receiving that and being part of that, and we had a good time. And it's just cool to see a film on a big screen with other people who also have great films.
Yeah.
So and
those are the kind of people you want to involve yourself with. You want to
definitely
meet those people, network with them, maybe make films together. Who knows?
100%. So let's change topic. Tell me, how was your diet, weight training, all of that sort of stuff going?
Yeah. Well, last week I was ill. I had the man flu. So I was out all week just recovering. Other than that, I've been consistently going at least 3 times a week, which is what I set out to do.
Yep.
And I think that at the moment I'm going to keep it at around 3 times a week and not go too much more than that because of everything else that's going on in my life. And also I noticed that I was getting fairly tired and my muscles didn't have enough chance to recover by going more than 3 times a week. 4 times is still all right. 5 is the limit, really, and then more than 5 is just far too much. But that was down to the type of training I was doing, so quite intense. For other people, going 5-6 days a week is perfectly fine, depending on the intensity of training and all that stuff. But yeah, for me, with the intensity of my training, it's better to go 3 times a week. That's where I see the best results, and I have the best chance of recovery from my muscles.
So what do you do, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or does it change up? Or?
Yeah, it kind of changes up. I kind of just go whenever I feel like it, or whenever it's the best opportunity to go. I don't have anything else going on that day.
Sure. Is it like, as long as you hit 3 times a week between Monday and Sunday, you're...
Yeah, but I don't want it to be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then nothing the rest of the week. I still want it to be kind of like spread out.
Or Sunday, Monday, and then...
Yeah, if it's like, if I'm doing muscles like chest and my back 2 days in a row, then it's okay. But if I do anything with legs, I need 1 or 2 days to recover from that afterwards, because it's the most intense workout.
So, will you go close to every other day?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then you stagger that extra day of rest accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then nutrition-wise, it's difficult whilst I'm still here to achieve my goals, but I'm eating enough at least to maintain my weight and help me build the muscle that I want to build. It's not ideal, it's not optimized, but it's better than nothing. So that's definitely something I want to improve this year, but it's not technically something I can do until I've moved into my own place. I can fully focus on that.
And then it's all under your control.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy with that at the moment. I'm happy with how that's going. I'm just keeping it steady essentially. And then later on this year, I'm gonna fully go for it, I'd say.
Wicked. Did you make much improvement on the meal prep side of things? You said you wanted to do that a bit more or more consistently.
Not really, to be honest. No. I've done a couple of meals which have lasted me like two or so days. But because I'm also living with my family, everyone else is kind of just eating into that. So it's not really possible to have a meal that's going to last for longer than 2 days at most.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just how it goes at the moment.
That's a temporary problem.
Yeah.
It'll all be fixed once you get your own gaff. So meal prep I can do, and I do. And I've been trying to just pick healthy stuff. And I would say I do pick healthy stuff anyway, but I think rather than having like those sugary, calorific, whatever easy things to grab out of the cupboard, then I'm trying to consciously like make better choices at the shop before it gets to my house or whatever. So I haven't bought the pack of chocolate or whatever. I don't buy chocolate covered biscuits because they're even more addictive than regular biscuits. I mean, at the minute I've got a pack of rich tea there that kind of
nice,
and they are 38 calories a biscuit, and
so
that's
snack
fine.
Away.
So you can have 10 of them, like you really could, and not feel like too bad about it. And they're really easy to eat 10 of them when you're dunking them in tea, like I do. And if you're not dunking them in tea, then what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Exactly. But as far as exercise goes, I was actually so knackered after that studio session we did that I didn't exercise for a couple of days because I was just on my feet for,
Well, you would have burned a significant amount of calories just walking around, and especially with your gear as well. Yeah.
Right. And so we did long days. I was up at 5:30 the first day, left at 6, 5:30, and then didn't get home until 11 o'clock the following evening. And so we were working the whole time, pretty much. Obviously, we slept for like 6 hours, but
still,
it was pretty good. So I rested for a few days there, and then yesterday I started home exercise a bit more. I've got to be more consistent with it and just doing it every day, I think. But I definitely noticed like my arms and that were aching, which is a good sign. Obviously I'm doing like warm-ups and cool-downs as well, and just trying to do more stretching in general. I think something that would be good to be better at would be flexibility training. That would be something to incorporate. Because I'm not the most flexible. Like, I would love to be able to touch my toes, but I know you can do it. But
I've trained myself so I can put my palms on the floor.
Yeah, I can do that now. I can't put it past my toes and do it. I can do it from sitting down here.
Yeah.
So you can, from standing up, you can put your palms straight. Oh my god, you're like a fucking ape. Your arms are longer than your legs.
Yeah, my arms are quite long actually. But no, I mean that's just through a couple of years of I think for some reason, even though I'm really tall, I'm naturally a little bit more flexible. Like my hamstrings are not massively tight or anything. But I think that's down to a lot of mobility exercises that I've been incorporating in my strength exercises too.
And you have really good form as well.
Well, I got there in the end. Eventually, it took me a couple of years, and that's normal. It's normal for your body not to be used to certain movements and be like, how do I do this? And then eventually it'll just click, and you go, okay, it makes sense now. But the mind-muscle connection, and yeah, I think it's something that shouldn't be slept on. It's something for everyone to do, because I don't want to be 60, 70 years old and feel like my body is letting me down.
Or feel like the age most people report that age feels like.
Yeah, when I see people at 70 years old who are still fit as a fiddle and just, are able to move without too much assistance, or
you're like, oh, it's possible.
Yeah, be in a position where they can fully take care of themselves still at that age. That's where I want to be. I want to. It's nice to train for strength and be able to lift hundreds of pounds or kilograms, whatever. But I've kind of moved away from that way of training to more sort of longevity training. And I think that's also reflected in the food I eat. I don't eat too much sugary stuff or stuff like that. I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables.
It's because you're sweet enough, mate.
Yeah. I do like the occasional treat, to be fair.
What's your favourite treat at the minute?
My favourite treat at the moment, you're going to call me bland and boring, but it's this little bar of dark chocolate with some orange inside it, like orangey dark chocolate. It almost tastes like a what are they called? The chocolate orange.
Terry's chocolate orange.
Terry's chocolate. They're almost tastes like that, just
really?
Dark chocolate version.
They have a dark chocolate one of Terry's chocolate orange. It's in a red packet. I think they normally only do it at Christmas, really, though.
Yeah, it's still got milk in it, sadly, for me.
Yeah, you want what do you have, 70-80% cocoa solids or something like that?
I don't
for dark
go
chocolate.
I don't go too high, but yeah, around 70 probably.
Okay.
Yeah, my uncle once gave me a 95%. I was like, this isn't edible, man. This is horrendous.
It's like drinking raw espresso or something.
I'm not a big coffee fan either, but yeah, I had one tiny little piece, just had it melt on my tongue. I was like, my mouth feels dry and weird. Just
it's like you may as well chew on the damn cocoa plant itself.
Yeah. Well, to get sidetracked, I saw a video the other day of these cocoa farmers who, it's a bit sad actually, never got to taste chocolate before. They only know the cocoa beans, but they don't actually know the finished product. So this guy went up to them and was like, oh, you want to try this? And so all these cocoa farmers, just like in a U shape, just kind of like sitting there cross-legged and just like trying this chocolate, and like, oh, this is amazing, this is so nice. And that was really heartwarming. I don't know, it just came in my mind, that did.
No, I love that though. I think I've seen that as well, and seeing that kind of, I guess, farm to table journey and especially if you're growing the ingredient, to see what it's predominantly used for is amazing, and it's probably kind of life-changing for them if all they've ever known is the raw product.
Yeah, and never the finished product. And then for them to taste it and be like, oh my god, this is really sweet, and just like nothing they've ever tasted. For us, we can just go down to the local Sainsbury's and be like, yeah, I'll get 10 bars of chocolate if I like. But for these farmers, it's like you said, it's a revelation. It's something they've never had the chance to try before, and that just shows how lucky we have it.
Definitely
access to such it should be a luxury item, really, chocolate.
I mean, then what everything really is, if you want to think it like that way, because it's like there are people all over the world that are taking care of us in every corner of the world. They might not realize it, we might not realize it, but it is the case. And there's the quote is like, a society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they shall never sit. And that can be whether you're leaving a legacy for like someone to inherit or build on or whatever, or it could be like we've said, people kind of looking after each other from all over the world and making these products or having these thoughts and sharing philosophies or whatever it be that just betters humanity overall. And we are lucky. We are really lucky. And I think it's very easy to lose sight of that, and those are the things that really matter. And I think when you do right by other people, when you do nice things to other people, then you do right by yourself. And that is probably the best thing in life, isn't it? I think this is just for me to reflect on, really. But I think because I've got so much stuff that's been going on, and there was like a lot of stressful times recently, and like I said, like the money not coming in, and certain things not happening, or jobs not delivering on what they were gonna, or whatever it be. And there was some other couple of like stressful things, and in response to that, even though I thought I was like fine, my body clearly didn't, and I actually got a case of the old shingles, which isn't good, and it's been very irritating. But I think that's probably down to, kind of like I said in the episode before as well, even when I think I'm taking a rest day, I don't take a rest day. That's not something I do. I do stuff, and when I'm tired I go to bed, or I eat something.
That's where your body then will tell you, listen here, kiddo, I need a break.
Right? I think it is, but I want to be productive and make progress on things, and I'd feel like I wasted my time if I didn't at least make some progress when I had the energy and means to do it. So I'm always trying to do something that's like, can I squeeze an extra bit of work in here? There is plenty of time I waste on social media and stuff. Still, don't get me wrong, as we all probably do. And I know I do it, but definitely maybe that's a little bit of a vice that I have. I don't know, because I don't really.
Well, if you think about it, these programs, these social medias are designed to keep you hooked and to keep you interested.
Sure.
So, yeah, you can set yourself limits and timers, and do anything just to stop you from binging, essentially. But I think rather than demonize it, be like, I'm never going to do that again, that was horrible, the worst thing I've ever done in my life, I think something that works for me when I stick to it is to say, okay, I'm going to do it, I'm going to go on Instagram or whatever at this point in the day, like usually towards the evenings, and then look at everything that's been sent to me, and maybe send some videos to people as well, and then try and leave it and not go on Instagram before I go to bed. Leave like an hour window before going to bed, and also trying my best not to go on Instagram first thing in the morning when I wake up. Those are the main things.
You said a while ago about you schedule in like interneting time in your calendar. Do you still do that?
I've not done that for a while, actually, and I think it was a bit extreme. I think it's a good idea in principle, but I didn't really stick to it.
Is that not a consistent thing? Yeah.
No.
Sure.
And my days, they're so different.
They vary.
Yeah, that is just not possible to really keep to that. But I think if I had to pinpoint it to 1 hour during the day, I'd say around like 6 p.m., 6 p.m. I'd go on Instagram around then.
Sure. I'm sorry, my stomach is making noises.
Those noises are not going to be any louder than the ones behind me, unfortunately. I
think it's because I didn't eat properly today yet. I had 2 bananas.
Oh dear. I had some gnocchi, some with pesto and some tofu.
Do you have red or green pesto?
Green. I like red as well.
Wait, can you even have pesto?
Not conventional pesto, but there is vegan pesto.
Is there a vegan? I was going to say, because it's got like cheese in it, right?
Yeah. And you can also make homemade pesto, which I do want to do, which is probably a lot nicer than what you get in the vegan pesto things.
Pesto,
yeah.
I do love pesto.
Pesto's great.
I love when, I don't know, what do they put in vegan pesto first of all, actually?
basil, pine nuts. I think basically everything except for the cheese. There's loads of olive oil in there as well.
Yeah. Well, I like making a pesto toasty. Oh my fucking goodness.
Nice.
So one more thing I wanted to talk about is something that I've had on the list basically since episode 1, which is to edit relationships timely, honestly, relentlessly. And so I think I've made a big jump in that recently, and it's really uncomfortable to do it, but I think it's a necessary step because I feel that would kind of hold me in place and wouldn't really support the direction I'm going in. So it was a tough but necessary call. I think things were in need of a reshuffle there. So yeah, I respect myself for doing so, and who knows how that's gonna turn out or whatever. But yeah, I think you have to put yourself first sometimes, in a way of like self-preservation, really. And I also have to like change my, I guess, behavior around that of not just trying to keep the peace and like be nice and make everyone
look after
happy.
yourself as well. Exactly,
for sure. And so, in the best way possible, I'm putting myself first. So I'm happy about that, even though I'm like fighting against my own decision because it's difficult to stick with. But hopefully long term it'll be beneficial. Do you have any relationships, friendships, whatever it be, edits of your life and the people around you in your environment, say?
Not lately, actually. I feel like at the moment things have been quite harmonious. Nothing
stable.
too stable. Well, also, just wanted to say I'm proud of you for doing your bit with the editing, because it's not an easy task. It's quite, for me at least, it's one of life's greatest challenges, because we thrive on being social and having harmony around us and with other human beings, and then to sometimes have to have an uncomfortable conversation with another human being, and sometimes even cut them out entirely, goes against everything that we stand for as human beings, really.
Sure. Well, because you want to make things work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We just want to be happy and live happily together in a group. As how we were designed to live.
Not everyone has the same idea, unfortunately.
No.
And so when those scales are tipped in that direction that doesn't like benefit everybody, or at least keep the harmony, then
But if you remember a couple episodes ago, I did have that one friend who I had to have a conversation with.
Put some boundaries.
I feel like they've improved a lot, and I know they struggle a lot anyways with life in general, but I feel like they've really made an effort to keep in touch and reply to messages.
That's
and
great.
Just keep up their part of the bargain
Of the two-way street, right?
Yeah, and I'm very proud of that person for doing that, even though they've had quite a challenging life as of recently. So yeah, that's something I'm happy to report on, and makes me glad to be their friend. But otherwise, otherwise it's been really good. I've been very lucky to have people in my life who treat me the same way that I've been treating them, which is great. That's fantastic.
What do you have? What do I want to say?
What's the next?
What's your next steps for the month ahead?
Yeah, well, with the new job, I've got some training to complete, and I've actually been booked in to go near Reading to have an induction. It will be the 28th and the 29th of May, and I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to go there for those 2 days, and there'll be some sort of further training, induction, or some type of thing happening. It's going to be really nice. I'm booked into a hotel, and there's free accommodation, free food, travel, everything included. Travel. What? There's a trifle.
Oh, mate, I love a trifle.
You love a trifle?
Yeah. Oh. I don't like it when they put whole fruits at the bottom. That just jelly. Jelly is fine. And raspberry or strawberry, I don't mind.
Raspberry's good. I like raspberry. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing with the job, and then obviously the job itself is going to start, and everything else which is going to be happening job-wise. There's not too much I can do other than just do my online training, which I've been sent a couple of days ago. I've already done about an hour today. And there's a couple more hours to go on that.
Another thing I wanted to ask you, I just remembered, would you like to talk about your audio production business and the tracks you're sending off to master? Because I'm very excited for you.
Absolutely. No, so we've been very busy. In total we've written 18 tracks this year.
Get in.
Yeah, not too shabby. And 9 of those are fully mixed and mastered, and we've basically we've completed the next 9, and we're just going to do one final check on all of those sometime this week, if not next week, to then just basically say, okay, these are ready to be sent off to mastering, and then we'll send those off too. And we've already started writing the next batch of tunes. So we've got one that we started yesterday, which I'm already really, really enjoying, and I'm finding that with each batch that we start, our songwriting and our sound selection and everything is improving. And I don't know, it just feels like every track that we write, it feels like it's getting better and better, which is what you want. And so I'm really excited with everything that's happening with Envision. And we sent the first 9 songs to a sync agency, quite a reputable one. So we'll see if they think the music is good enough in terms of quality, in terms of the
it is
the songwriting and the production as well. But I feel pretty good. But it's going to take them up to 12 weeks to get back to us. So it will be a bit of waiting on that end, but obviously we've got loads of other leads and other things that we can pursue in the meantime.
Yeah, and it sounds, well, hopefully all of your stuff comes together at a nice harmonious point there.
Yeah,
you can like a crescendo, and it'll all just happen and fit right into place.
That would be awesome. It would be, I mean, it's the dream really to get the music onto Netflix or any of those sort of streaming sites, and then just build it up from there and start
and
getting
beyond.
more,
more
clients, and really build up the business there. We've had the business for over a year, but that's just all been prep work and writing music and starting social media, which has been a bit of a frustrating journey. But we're still doing it. We're still creating content, whether it gets views or not. We obviously want to get views, as many as we can, but at the same time, we're trying to make content, which is what we want to do. Content that we want to make, not just content that we think will perform well. So it's kind of finding a little bit of a balance there too, which is difficult. But at least we're putting ourselves out there. We're making the content. Like I said, we sent the tracks out to get reviewed by sync libraries, and we'll see how we go from there. I'll be able to report back maybe next episode, if not the one after, if we have any more progress on that end. But otherwise I'll keep you informed on that.
Absolutely. Oh mate, I'm so excited for you, for both of us actually.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that we've got coming up.
Yeah, we got loads of fun stuff happening. We got not only the business side of things, the personal side of things, the health, the nutrition, the gymming. I've not been doing too much reading, actually, is something that I probably should include as well.
Mate, I've not even opened a book. It's still sat on my bedside.
Yeah. So that's something I want to get back into again, because it was a good habit. I guess I can excuse it because I've been busy with other stuff, but at some point I should really get back into it again.
Yeah. Well, it's there for you when you're ready and when you have time to return. Some stuff I'm going to be doing for so this month coming up, I really want to, well, obviously get some leads and stuff through for jobs for my production company. That'd be really nice to make some monies.
Yes.
Hopefully I will get that editing job that I said to you about. That would be really cool. I want to keep consistent with the foods and, well, just expand on what kind of foods I'm having, or stick to good food groups and that, and make sure everything's balanced and whatever. Be consistent with the exercise, keep showing up for myself on that front. I'd say, take a proper rest day, but honestly I don't think I will. Probably, if I'm being like brutally honest, I'm probably not going to do that, or not a full day. And because I kind of think like, oh, each day when I have my dinner or whatever, I'll like watch something while I eat, and that's kind of my chill out time, and then I carry on. But I don't really, I wouldn't really just watch something I do like to watch something just to watch it. That's kind of what's good about going to the cinema, is like that's the one thing you're doing. But even that I don't really do.
No, I'm probably gonna see the Minecraft movie this week.
Chicken Jockey
with my younger brother. So that's gonna be nice. But otherwise I'd rarely go to the cinema, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a great experience to do it, but I don't know where I was going with that. Cut that.
No, I think you were talking about you don't really take breaks, and
exactly. No, I don't really. Sorry. You carry on.
And everyone works in their own pace, and everyone lives in their own pace. So
sure.
Do it as you see fit. Obviously, no one can tell you you're doing it wrong, and if they do, then they're wrong. And
there is no one way. There's just the way for you. And
exactly.
Also, there's a point where yes, take or listen to people's advice. That's a good thing to do. It doesn't mean you have to take that advice. You have to make your own judgment of whether that's good advice or whether it's complete horseshit, or if they've got any substance or context or experience to base any of it on. Because everyone's got like an auntie or an uncle or a mate who goes, "Oh no, what you really need to do is that." And you're like, have you studied it? Have you ever done it? Do you have a career in it? I mean, it's nice that you're in my corner, but do you know better? If you do, then I'm happy to listen and learn. But if not, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And the other thing off of that is like, people want you to have an opinion on everything, and some things I just don't, because I can't concern myself with everything, otherwise I never get anything done. And I don't need to make everything my business. I'm just going to try and do the best I can for my little corner of the world, and hopefully that spills some goodness out onto everyone else, and then great, job's a good one for me.
Yeah. But I like that. I like that people who don't have an opinion on everything and instead say, you know what, I don't know. Right. I respect that more.
Totally. And if someone, I don't know, I've got plenty of friends who are much smarter than me, and they'll be talking about something that's way over my head, and I'm like, what does that word mean, or whatever. And I'd rather ask than just nod along. And then they go, what do you think? And you'd be like, same. You're like, I don't know, educate me. I'd rather that. And I think when they say like, I'll be the smartest person in the room, that is the person who asks a good question because they've listened to what other people have to say, and then can make an informed decision or question or argument based on that.
You know how you become the smartest person in the room? By being the dumbest person in the room.
Right. There's something to be said for being, I guess, the joker of the pack. Like, they don't have a main function, they're just kind of there, but they absolutely come in handy, or they're unassuming, but they're the ones collecting all the knowledge and watching the game be played.
It's the quiet ones.
It's the quiet ones you've got to watch out for. Another thing I'd like to do this coming month is to hopefully make affiliate on Twitch. That would be really nice to have my Twitch business make affiliate.
I think you will, I think you're really not that far off.
I think I will.
Yeah.
I think I will. I've been making like custom emotes, and that's another thing. I'm happy to put all the work in, and I've just been like learning a buttload of stuff on Photoshop and whatever else systems to make custom emotes and like animate things and just make my community a fun place to be, and that people want to interact with, and just hopefully if people choose to spend some time with me on the Jake Show or whatever it's called, then that's great. I love making people laugh or smile. I don't care if people are laughing with me, at me, as long as they're like laughing and smiling. It does the job. I can see you in the corner of my eye laughing at me now, you bastard. No, but I do love hopefully bringing out the best in people, and if it distracts them for a few hours, then great. And I think it kills a few minutes, like in a good way. And I don't know what I want to say.
Well, there's an epidemic of loneliness and sadness, isn't there? So I think this is one of the best ways to connect with people and make them feel like they're part of something greater than just themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know one of my favourite things to do is, I know we would have something at home, and we still do every now and again when I go and visit my folks, but it would happen a lot more when all of us were living in the same house. But we would have something called a mad half hour, and that would just be something silly. Just someone's done something funny, and then someone's laughing at them because they're laughing. You don't even know what you're laughing about, but you are, and it doesn't matter. Nothing, like everything else falls apart, falls away, and you guys laughing in the moment is all there is. And there's been numerous times now with you and I where I've said I'm going to have to get my inhaler because I can't breathe. I have to schedule when I'm going to laugh because I need to make sure I've got the blue inhaler on me in case I go off the rails with it,
Oh dear. I feel sorry for you. Because laughing is it's a superpower. It's medicine. It can turn your day upside down.
100%.
So I think the more smiling and laughter we can share, the better the world, the better place the world is.
I've got that. I think I've got like kind of like a bucket list or 10, 12 things I want to achieve in my life, and one of the things listed down is have a laugh every day. People forget to, and people do as they get older as well, and
it's easy to become too serious, isn't it? Because you
it
get
is.
all these responsibilities put on you, and you're like, okay, I need, as well as men, we need to be like, take on these responsibilities on our shoulders, and
be the breadwinner, feed the family, do all of this, and be the strong, unwavering character or whatever. But you need the strength counterbalanced with some vulnerability and whatever else. Otherwise, the equation doesn't make sense, and then you're not going to be happy if you've bottled things up.
Yeah. Well, you need friends. Friends to laugh with. It's all right to laugh. Well, it's a bit crazy to laugh by yourself, actually, but you can do. You can,
mate. I have several times.
Yeah, but that's nice. Being able to laugh in your own company is good. I think that's a healthy thing.
It is. It can be anything.
Friends.
It can be anything, right? I remember cracking up in a Tesco's once because right? I was there, and I was at the self checkout, yeah, and I normally like kept my phone and wallet in the breast pocket of my at the inside of my jacket, and I knew I was going to be paying because I was at the self checkout, and I was talking to whoever it was on the phone, like this, like that, right? And I'm scanning through the things, and like I said, I've normally got the phone and wallet in here, and I've reached in there and I've just felt the wallet, and I've got, fuck, where's the fuck? I'm like, I'm gonna have to call you back. You twat. I've lost my phone, but I'm on the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, Alex.
Episode 4.
Episode 4, mate. I know.
April.
What on earth? We've been consistent for 4 whole months.
Yeah, I think that's something to be proud of.
It is. It's a milestone.
We recorded the videos. We're doing the thing. We're uploading them eventually, but at least I'm still uploading them. And yeah, I think it's a good thing to look back upon, which is the whole purpose behind this, is to then at the end of the year look at the start, the first video, and then be like, well, this is how far this is how far you've come, this is how far I have come.
We should do a condensed version, like a snippet of each at the end of 12 months and see like the best of or the highlights or something like that. And you know what else is nice to see is that we're not making progress for the sake of making progress. We're doing it because, well, we can't not, and things are naturally happening because we're showing up for ourselves. That is the progress, right?
Yeah.
And the whole thing of, I'll do it tomorrow. No, do it fucking now.
Yeah.
If you
because
can.
Now is all you've ever got.
Now is all there ever is.
Yeah.
Bosh. Cut to tattoo. Actually, no, don't cut to tattoo, because the last time you did, you put it right in the middle of the fucking screen, you know. I still remember that. And I was like, we can change that. Nope, it's burnt in there forever.
It is forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
At a random point.
Yeah.
We weren't even talking about it.
It's 26 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed round the corner and someone saw me grin. And when he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then realised its worth. A single smile just like mine could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic quick and get the world infected. That's Spike Milligan. Legend.